Hey guys, what's up? Nico again here. And in this 3D printed profits episode, I have with us Jason, who also has his 3D printing side business. And what is it that you sell again, Jason?
So my biggest part of my side job is bringing 3D printers and 3D pens and interactive models through Tinkercad to classrooms and summer camps.
Gotcha. Okay. So that is a very, very unique business there that Jason has. And so we're going to talk about how he does it, how he got started, all that shenanigans, how he's growing the business. And as always, all the links to Jason's stuff is going to be in the description below if you're on YouTube. And if you're on your favorite podcast player, it's going to be in the show notes down below. Also, as always, make sure you stay to the very, very end where I give you your own product idea that you can 3D print and make yourself so you can start your own 3D printing side hustle. All right, Jason, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So let's get started here. What is your background? Tell us more about yourself. What is it that you do?
All right, so I am in my probably 25th year of teaching technology education at a high school level. I take care of a lot of the engineering, Autodesk products, architecture classes. And when 3D printers first came on board, back, I think it was 2007 or 2008. I begged my supervisor for some money to buy one of these crazy things that printed, and I didn't know how it worked, but the second it was in my lab, every kid stared at it and just watched it, and I knew that I had something that had to be incorporated fully throughout the rest of my classes. Intro classes, my advanced classes, architecture classes, they all just use it.
Cool. So, so how much are you making per month on your business?
Well, I would say more along the lines, my income for 3D printing side jobs is a little bit more along the lines of summer employment. So back when I first got married, actually, what I had was a opportunity to run a couple of programs at a college level for summer camps. When I got into it, I noticed that 3D printing was very difficult to implement because the volume wasn't possible. So they didn't have enough 3D printers, but they wanted it, and there was too many students. So I said to myself, this is a need. What if I bought a lot of printers that I can afford at that time, and then go out to all these camps that cannot incorporate it and do it for them? So I became a mobile job, a mobile classroom with 3D printers in tow. My motto was,
and you do it over the summer.
And I do it over the summer. Have printers, will travel, and it was great. I got a couple of portable ones way early on.
And what machines are these?
Well, the portable ones, unfortunately, they were a lot of the ones that were like the MakerBot ones that were very easy to bring in. Okay. And so I got 2 MakerBots. Then I was like, you know what? The quality isn't perfect. I want my students to get more and more. So I ended up buying 4 more. Oh, wait, 5 more. Oh my God. I keep remembering that I sold a couple, but the CR10s just did an outstanding job. And I loved them. I still have 2 CR10Ss, and I bought a Ender 3. I have a Lotmax Shark. I had 2 CR10, the 500s, the very, very large print bed ones.
That's
for lots
huge.
of volume.
Yes.
And they are great, but their real estate is expensive in my small house. So I just couldn't keep them going as much as I wanted to. And I ended up moving on to more printers that were smaller, and I stuck with those. And so I only brought the MakerBot Replicator Pluses to the schools so that all the kids could see it working, and they loved it. And all the camps, the classroom had at least 10 minutes of every single kid staring at this thing working as if it was a new TV series they were going to be addicted to for the rest of the summer.
That's so awesome.
And they loved it. And we're talking kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, all the way up to 6th grade I was teaching. I still am actually.
So are
And
you teaching design as well? What
yeah,
exactly are you teaching in this?
so
Is it like a 6 week camp? What is it?
yeah, it's probably like 6 weeks that I get a chance to open up Tinkercad with a bunch of kids, and I show. And what I really came up with was a ton of different challenges. Like one was a catapult, or a spinning top, or a rocket that actually worked. And there's a really cool one on my Instagram there. You take a film canister, those old school film canisters, buy them by a couple dozen on Amazon. You put some water in it and some Alka-Seltzer tablets. It builds some pressure up. But the kids just absolutely loved designing the rocket that sat on top of it and launched. And it was just like all of a sudden these kids couldn't stop designing. And all I had to do was make default shapes, right? Default
Yeah, just
bases that they
cylinders with a
added.
cone on top. Yeah.
Right. They're adding their letters to it. They're adding their all their little touches. They wanted a portal, so they would put a negative space in. They wanted 4 wings. No, I want 2 wings. No, I want a rocket. They were doing all of that in Tinkercad. Tinkercad did a great job of making it nice and easy for dragging and dropping. So I highly recommend that software for anybody that's looking to get any younger individual interested into it, and they just love the colors and the ease of the drag and drop.
So that's really cool, man.
Yeah.
And I do love it when kids, I mean, just people in general, and
Mm.
when they first find 3D printing. I mean, I was the same when I first bought one. I was like, when my first year 10, I just sat there. I think I sat there looking at it for 30 minutes straight, just like this.
And
As the thing slowly built layer by layer right in front of my face. It was incredible.
I know, and it does the same thing across the board. No matter how many times I have the same kids year after year, they run back and they say, "I get to do more." Not like, "What are we going to have to do next?" Like when you go into a classroom and your attitude is switched to, "What do I get to do now? What is in store for me?" rather than "What's the next assignment?" You really grabbed them at such an early age, boys and girls across the board. The girls are doing a fantastic job. I see so much professional attention to detail. I'm impressed with the women in STEM recently. It is growing, and I hope and I even think that this is one of the greatest ways to really bring them into this field. And that's a very big part of what I do in my high school classes as well.
I agree, man. That's awesome. So how do you come up with the curriculum for this? Is it the same curriculum every 6 weeks? So I know in the summer, so you do like 2 camps every summer. Is that what happens?
I do actually right now. If I can branch out, I would love to do a different camp. Just make more money while I do that. Honestly, right now I'm doing very good, but I'm teaching the classes. But think about it. If I can purchase a couple more portable printers, I find a coworker and I send him or her to another camp that is in need of it. I do the same projects I do here because they're already vetted and tested, and I see what's wrong because I've done it for 2 years or 3 years. And when you incorporate it there, that can be a functional class that camp can now like lean on to add to their STEM environment, because it's such a huge draw for summer camps. Not everybody wants to go outside and do archery or the other games. Some kids do like sitting inside and learning or playing, and I really try to make sure it's more playing than like a strict curriculum.
Sure.
So there is a lot.
That's how kids learn faster and they learn better that way.
And that is allowing these students that just fly through to go in their direction, and me spend some time with the struggling ones or the brand new ones that have never picked up a mouse. Kindergarten, first grade, second grade, they don't even know which button to press on the mouse. It's very interesting. But aside from that, it's a branching out that I hope to really bring into play in the future by maybe even making the curriculum a little bit more standard. But what I do is I try to make a different activity every week. So I get a different rotation of kids, sometimes every 5 days. So one day I'll do this little frog jumper design that I just did for the first time this year. I'm going to upload how that went. I did with my high school kids, I showed them the progress in designing it as well. I had about 17 different
And the high
prints.
school kids, excuse me,
Yeah.
the high school kids also use Tinkercad for design.
No, actually, I use Fusion 360 at the high school level.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
what's
I think they're proficient enough to do
yeah, they
360.
are. Absolutely.
So do you now sell prints too? Or is it just
So
strictly education?
it's strictly education, and I've subcontracted myself out to people that wanted prototypes, like reverse negative cast molding. I did a couple of car parts. I've done some seat design where I had a chance to I forget the name of the brand, but certain car seats parts were very expensive and hard to come by. So I said, why don't we try and print it in PETG because it'll withstand the car seat, the interior car temperature.
That
And I
and
got,
it's a lot stronger. Yeah.
and it's a lot stronger. And you're going to buy it for $35. I could print it for you for 10 or something, or even less because I've finished the design process. You pay me to design it. I'll give you the prototype. Does it fit? If not, I'll fix it. And I did that. That was a lot of fun. I love that. Every year, a little bit of a history about me. Every year, I always tried to find a different way to learn or see how engineering works in the professional field. So I've done internships at architectural firms or mechanical engineering firms and brought it in. And I still have yet to do a 3D printing.
So do you have an engineering degree?
Well, I went to the College of New Jersey and I have a bachelor's in technology education. I went to Ball State University for my master's in technology education also. So I have 2 education degrees with the engineering field as the focus point. And I took all the engineering classes along with the engineering majors up until probably junior or senior year, I think it was.
Gotcha. So let's back up here a little bit. So you have this idea to bring 3D printing to education, right? So how did you get your first clients? Like what happened? Like, did you just go out to all these schools and like hustle? Like, how did that work?
Yeah, I think you have to put your feet to the pavement and walk around.
Boots on the ground. Yeah, absolutely.
So I did have a chance to network in Montclair State University, which is here in New Jersey. It's a very, very prominent university, and they're excellent. And that's where I ran an entire summer program for 1 year. All right. And that's where I came up with the idea. But I got to know a few teachers and summer camps by looking at other summer camp ideas to bring into Montclair. So I started networking then. And then all of a sudden, I found the camp that I'm at right now through my daughter's dance class, of all things. It's pretty funny. Dads drop their daughters off for dance. Some of us sit around and we just started talking. And he is the owner of the camp that I'm currently running one of my classes in. And it was just like spur of the moment. I'm like, hey, listen, I have this idea. I don't want to work at Montclair another year. What if I bought a whole bunch of printers and I brought it to your camp? Do you want a 3D printing class? And I seriously was sitting down with a cup of coffee in my hands, talking to him like I'm talking to you about ideas. And he's like, please, let's do it. So literally 5 weeks later, I'm putting together around $8,000 or $9,000. I bought printers, I bought filament, and I started, just buying things that I thought I would need. And then it just kept growing and growing since then. For about 5 years, I think I've been at the camp.
And so when you got your first client, right, you're teaching at Montclair, you have these summer camps. So what happened next? How did it all start to grow?
So the development of the idea of the camp class grew when everybody just demanded it. And that's the best part, is honestly that the camp that I'm at right now.
So word of mouth basically spread like wildfire.
Yeah, now they know. Now all of a sudden, this camp is like, oh wow, you have 3D printing, we have 3D printing. And then I go look, and they only have one guy that comes in one day and shows all the kids the 3D printing printers, how it works. And then the next day he leaves. Like your camp doesn't have 3D printing. Your camp brings in somebody with 3D printers, and that's another avenue I could have gone. I could have
I have an
subcontracted
idea
myself.
for you. We'll get that here in a little
Yeah,
bit.
I've,
We'll do
I
a little
had,
bit of a coaching call, a
yeah,
business coaching call with you here in a little bit.
yeah.
We'll even record it. It'll be bonus content later.
Perfect. And I think that that's another idea. Absolutely. Like what I have two currently, about 6 high school students working for me while I'm doing this class. So not only are students getting experience with more engineering criteria, we're reverse engineering how can we make this product better for kindergartners and still be able to print 15 at a time on my printers with no fail and have it ready tomorrow. That's a lot of stuff. And these kids are going through this and running through these ideas, and they're helping me because I'm not thinking about everything. Also, you need to go ahead and print something and put it in a 7-year-old's hand and say, does it fit? You know,
Yeah.
we do that.
So how are people booking you? Do you have like a website where they can sign up and book you for the 6 weeks?
that is
How are they signing up? How are they paying you? Is it all like do you invoice them?
Yeah, I invoice them. I have a registered LLC in the state of New Jersey. Okay, Mobile Makers NJ. And
then how do they sign up?
So what I've done is it's just been like, call me up. But at this camp, I just tell them I want to work for you for another year. And they're like, okay, that's great. We'll make a classroom for you, and we'll set aside tables, chairs, and Chromebooks and mice, and you bring everything else in. So I bring all the filament in, I bring the printers in, I bring the 3D pens in. You really have to see what I do with the 3D pens to get an idea of how deep I'm going with this. It's taking it to a pretty cool level. Like a lot of the things that we build, the students decorate with the 3D pens, but that's another thing, you know, with a couple of photos to get an idea of that. So that's how they bring me in. If they want to run a class, and they always want to run a class. So that's, and I say, all right, listen, I'm available all of these weeks. So feel free to sign me up for those weeks. I'm going on vacation this week. So if you want to use my pens, please go right ahead and use my pens and all my handouts and all my protective sheets that they do use, you know, so I leave a lot of stuff to them to use. And I do go through pens pretty fast. Those things are, there's every
single They don't last very long. No.
Yeah, they don't last very long, especially when
they're $20 for one.
Yeah. But that's why, yeah, I'm spending like $50 each, and I might need to buy 25 of them. So that's a little bit of overhead. But honestly, I'm making that back times 5 at the end of the summer.
Good.
You know, and I pay my students also. So my students make money, they gain experience. And
this is all word of mouth. So what is working today in terms of marketing? Is it all just word of mouth? Really? There's no advertisement or anything like that?
I haven't felt the need to, because
and it's all repeat business, right?
Right. It's all repeat. Every single year it's going to be, I'm currently working at the New Horizons Day Camp in Florham Park. If anybody wants to check it out, they have all of these classes that are indoors and outdoors. And it's an amazing experience for anybody that gets to sign up. So if you look at how you can take 3D printing and all of this and make it into just a interactive zone, that's what I want it to be. It's just a zone. You go in.
So like a giant workshop.
Right. Exactly. It's a maker space without coining that phrase, you know, and it's certainly going to be one of those things that I wonder where it will be in 5 years, because certainly it's going to change. I wonder what it could change into. We have ideas, you know, we're starting to think about prefabricating 100 different lightsabers for kids to take and assemble just like they do in Disney, because I can print all these parts separately, and then they can really play around with different colors and things like that. That might be where it goes if they're starting to send to me 25 kids at a time, which is
Gotcha.
very difficult to do, especially if they're second graders or third graders. Oh my gosh, cutest kids, but in that number, you have no idea what you're doing
Yeah.
every second. It's very difficult. So if you think about entertaining a second grader for 40 minutes, I think that they want to be able to handle things and touch things rather than and worry about whether or not their design on the computer is working, right? So that's where we go. That's where I think
Okay.
I'll probably see my designs go.
So normally at this point in the show, I would ask what's next for you.
Okay.
But we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna put the what's next for you in the bonus content.
Okay.
So we're gonna jump here a little bit and ask Jason. Jason, what is your number one tip for anyone who wants to start their own 3D printing side business?
All right. The best thing you have is a knowledge of software, and the hardware is above everybody that you probably will interact with. So just have a lot of confidence in yourself. Have a lot of confidence in the knowledge that you're taking this step and you're moving into a wonderful experience for not only your client, but yourself, and be as diverse as possible. So maybe look at a classroom and help them out. So you learn a little bit more about rapid prototyping or quantity over quality, and then go to a engineering firm or an architectural firm and maybe help them out and learn a little bit about quality over quantity. Now you have to learn how good can you make these models and how professional you can make it. I think that that's it. You treat it like you're learning every single project, and you're gonna love the field.
So learn the field, right? Basically, learn the technology.
Yeah, hopefully that's a good answer to it.
Gotcha.
What is it?
All right. So now I told you to stay till the very end, and I would give you guys your own 3D printing product idea. And today's idea is a purse. Look, this was designed and 3D printed by me in a matter of 15 minutes. Yes, it's Louis Vuitton. Don't make Louis Vuitton stuff because they'll get you. But look, it's printed in TPU. It's a flexible material, and all I really did was added these little magnets to close it up, and it looks pretty dang good. You guys can do a hell of a lot better design on this. This took me like 5 minutes to do in Blender, but you guys can design anything and everything you want. What if you just niched down and just made little purses, little wallets, stuff like this? Print them in TPU, you're good to go. So that is today's episode. Make sure you guys stay till the very, very end after this for the bonus content, where I'm going to do a little bit of coaching call with Jason. And as always, if you guys need anything, all Jason's links is going to be in the description below. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're on your favorite podcast player, it's in the show notes. And as always, if you guys need this help, if you need help to start, build, and grow your 3D printing side hustle, give me a ring and we'll work together. Jason, again, thanks for being in the show, and let's go to the bonus content, man.
Thank you. Okay, go.
All right, Jason. So for what my idea for you, for your because you already have the education niche in your area.
Yeah.
Right. What you can do now, man, is you can actually build an after school program that that the kids can go to and do it that way. So you're not stuck just during the summers, right?
Yeah.
And you already have high school students working for you. And so scaling the business at this point isn't going to be that hard, right? You already have your mobile your mobile machines, and they don't even have to be mobile, like that mobile, because you can go to the school. So you go to elementary school X, right? Say, hey, I want to start an after school program. Here's the flyer. Excuse me. Send it out to all the parents on the whatever. I'll give the school X amount as their cut. All I want the school to do is provide me one classroom where I'm going to house the machine, and that's it. Dude, you can charge $200 for a 4-week, $200 per student for a 4-week class.
Yeah, and then it really is just like 25 kids. All the computers are already there, probably, and everything's cloud-based anyway. It really is, just letting a kid and I think that was one of my biggest goals, is finally letting kids get the chance to design whatever they wanted and build it. And I'm seeing that come to fruition a lot with some of these students that I'm experiencing in the summer camp. And I think that's what summer camp is all about. I also think maybe after school programs should be.
Yeah, that's what I said. Just do an after school program. We'll design your curriculum. You're a teacher. I don't need to tell you how to do that. And price it as such so that you charge per kid, right?
Yeah.
And then you say, hey, it's a 5-week program. It's $200 a kid. At the end of these 5 weeks, they'll come home with a toy every week.
Every week. Absolutely. That's always been my goal.
You know what I mean?
The same thing with you see all these kids come home with something from art on these summer camps, or something else they built, they designed, they painted, they show mom, they love it. Well,
and that's
now
just elementary school.
Yeah.
When you go to high school, dude, say, hey, we're going to start prototyping inventions.
Yeah.
Right.
Really try to solve something. There's a lot of these challenges. You see a lot of colleges and universities put out these little intros to their engineering by saying, here's a competition, enter it. We could always run a competition entrance to some of these things that I've seen Autodesk run, or some of the engineering departments. Yeah, I've definitely seen that happen.
So there you go, man. Normally I would ask you what's for the future of your business. And I wanted to take a step back and kind of lead you towards this for your business, because I think that you're severely limiting yourself doing things just in the summer.
Yeah.
I think
well, don't forget, full-time teaching is a lot.
I agree. I agree.
I want to find the energy. I mean, I used to coach, and that's absolutely been a fun time of my life, getting to know students outside of the classroom. But maybe putting that energy into a after school program, and then seeing the reward of it also.
Yeah. And that's why I think going towards the after school niche for even for just one elementary school, start off with one. Then
and only do it for
next.
4 weeks.
Dude,
you're not overburdening yourself.
How much money you can make from this.
Maybe even start in my own school district that my son and daughter are in. That could be an option.
There you go.
See how it goes. Just bring it in, introduce myself. They all know me already. I donated a 3D printer to my son and daughter's elementary school, just to get something in there. And they were very thankful.